Dude, if there's one thing that gets me excited, it's God of War. God of War 2018, bro, it's literally like my favorite video game of all time. And to this day, I still play pretty consistently, even though Ragnarok, has already released. I still love 2018. So when I saw the announcement of Ryan Hurst or Hurst, sorry if I butchered the name, but when I saw the announcement that he was playing Kratos, me being me, I'm kind of excited, I'm not gonna lie. But with that excitement and with the amount of love I have for this franchise, I'm also a little bit of skeptical, I guess, about a TV series for God of War. It's not that I'm not that I'm a hater or against it. I'm not. I'm passionate about God of War. I love this series and this franchise, and I would love to see where they go from here. But the idea to me of adapting the 2018 game, that masterpiece of a game, and the 2022 game, God of War Ragnarok, is it's nerve-wracking to me. And I think the reason is because I love those games so much, and the amount of character development and amount of effort and so much time that. But the reason why I'm worried, I'm not so much worried about the casting or worried about where the show is gonna go. Well, no, I am, but I have faith, especially when I heard that Cory Barlog is also a producer on the show. I think they're gonna take the show in a nice direction. But I'm also worried we're gonna have another Last of Us situation with how the show is going to go. Now, I'm not to insult or discredit anybody, but I don't know how to feel about it. On one hand, I'm excited. The casting is phenomenal, by the way. Ryan Hurst, sorry if I butchered it, but anyways, Ryan is probably going to do an amazing job as Kratos. He already played Thor in the previous game, and he did an amazing job there too. And bro, just look at him. He looks like Kratos. You cannot tell me that guy doesn't look like Kratos. Just put a bald cap on him, give him some paint and some scars, and bam, you got Kratos. But yeah, I'm just kind of worried. I'm not so much worried because I think it's gonna be bad. I'm skeptical because I don't know how they're going to handle adapting a 30 something hour game in a miniseries. And especially with how Kratos is a quiet character. He's not very loud, he doesn't speak that much, and like I said, I have faith that Ryan Hurst can pull it off. I'm sure he can. I'm only curious how he's gonna do the Kratos voice. That's my main curiosity, but I bet you when that first trailer comes, it will be satisfying. I know it will be. But it's like, I don't know how they're gonna do 30 hours so game in a miniseries and make it engaging enough, because Kratos is one of those characters who originally he was kind of just like this angry brute. Like old Kratos compared to new Kratos are two entirely different people, almost like it's the same person essentially, but you see his character arc, you see him grow throughout the games, and you see how he changes. Kratos from God of War 2018 and Kratos from God of War Ragnarok, they're still the same, but the whole, don't be sorry, don't be better. It's literally like, it's real. Don't be sorry, be better. It is so real, and you see it in the games, and I love that. And again, I have hope for this, but the reason why I'm skeptical is because I don't know how you're going to be able to adapt such masterful games into a TV series, especially if it's true that it's a mini series. If there's one direction I would like the show to go in, I would maybe like it if this show were like kind of a semi-early prequel to God of War 2018, where instead of where it takes place in 2018, it can take place before 2018. So we can get to see Kratos before he met Faye, before he had Atreus, like him coming to Norse. I'd like to see that. I know there's probably like a comic book out there or something. I haven't read it, and I also don't know if it's canon. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But, I just want them to maybe adapt that. It would be nice seeing Kratos meet Faye for the first time, actually, and them actually falling in love. It could be a cool love story, bro. Maybe if you release it during, Valentine's Day or Valentine time, it could be cool. But I'm also worried because if this show, and again, I'm not saying it is gonna be, I'm not a hater, I want to support the show, I hope the best for the creators, I'm sure the show will be amazing. But if this show fails or doesn't, reach the expectations, because the two games that it's probably going to be adapting are amazing video games. I love them to death. I love them so much. So if the show doesn't live up to the hype that the game has, I feel like it will kind of sour, I don't know what I'm saying exactly, but it will maybe make the games less competent, I guess, or people will be like, oh, what's the fuzz about God of War, when it is genuinely peak. It's a peak game. And that's what I'm kind of worried about for this show. Like I keep saying, I have no doubt in my mind that, well, I do have doubts, but I don't doubt that they're gonna try their best and that it's probably gonna be an amazing project. But I'm still skeptical and I'm worried. And it's not like I'm critiquing it. It literally just got announced like a few days ago. I can't critique or say something's gonna be bad just off of one single announcement. Of course, I'm waiting for trailers and stuff. I'm just trying to get my skepticism out and try to talk about my fears for the show, and what I actually want for the show. Because in my head, making a prequel show would make more sense than adapting two masterful games. It could be cool. You could do your own thing where it's still canon to the games and it might add to the game's lore. Seeing Faye them meeting for the first time, there's hints of it in the God of War Ragnarok game, but other than that, we don't get that much information about it. There's just hints about, maybe they fought, maybe this happened. But let us see how Kratos fell in love with Faye. What made him fall in love with her? I like Faye in God